name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich. I'm going to be your host. Tonight's guest is Max Bendich. How you doing, Max?
How are you, Alan?
Oh, can I call you Pop?
And can I call you son?
Okay. How you doing, Dad?
Alan, I'm fine. I'm floating on air, and for what has happened to me in the last week or so, and
It's amazing, right?
it's amazing. I never knew things like that could happen.
Well, what happened? I mean,
All right, great. That's
you're
gonna-
saying things
we-
happen.
I
I don't know
know,
what
we
happened.
need
You
them.
tell me what happened.
We're becoming a real actor or something. What is it all about? I'm doing things that I never did before.
Right.
I'm saying things that I never did before. And people are hearing it. And one day I would get a telephone call. I don't remember it, I'm sorry, the man's name.
Well, the first person who we got the call from, I'll start.
All
if I
right,
can.
that's right.
Okay, you live at Cathay House, right?
Yes.
And Cathay House has also been, we've actually filmed some shows of Scriptless at Cathay House, right? Somebody, at least as a location. And, you know, I come once a month at least to have you come on this show.
Right.
And you're on TV. And all of a sudden, the people in public relations at Cathay House said, you have an interesting life. We want to publicize Cathay House by using you. And then basically that was the beginning of it. And at first, a woman by the name of Alex Friedman,
Yes.
and she's in charge of public relations for Cathay House, got in touch with you and got in touch with me about, initially it was the New York Times that we were supposed to speak with. Remember that?
No.
That was the first thing.
No, but it became the Daily News.
Right, yeah, but the first time, and you had the interview. You had an interview with the people at the New York Times, but that kind of fell through because they said another piece about a senior citizen or whatever. But it might come back. They might still do it.
Yes, sir.
But then we got a call from Alex about last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Saying that all of a sudden that the Daily News is interested in making a story about you. So, and I basically, a couple of things, they got in touch with me. They had already gotten they had your movie called Elapse,
Yep.
which was the one you dance in, and they had a copy of your Doritos commercial. And so they called you up and they did an interview. Before I did, and of course I said, Dad, whatever you do, talk about Scriptless. That's what I.
And what did I talk about?
Scriptless, right.
Always.
And but they also spoke about The Way to Go.
But I didn't know that you spoke to them.
Right.
Because all of a sudden he was asking me, and how about the commercial for Doritos? I said, all right. I said, well, in the commercial of Doritos, we had to do something like this and that. And whatever
it was great.
Whatever it was, we didn't win it.
Right.
But there's a show, if you look at it on
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
On YouTube,
Right.
when you look at it on YouTube, on the other side, it tells you different things. That's how you know show 38, episode
Oh, you're talking about The Way to Go.
on The Way to Go.
Okay, so basically what happened was that, so Alex got, I guess his name is Ben Kochman. That was the name
Yes,
of the,
that's right.
he's the
Something of the
reporter from the
Daily-
New York Daily News.
Daily News.
And he contacted you, and he came to your house with a photographer.
That's right.
And they took 50 pictures, right?
No, two different people.
Okay.
He was asking me questions, and every question he would ask, he would write down this and this and that.
Right.
And I don't even remember talking about the Dorito.
Right.
And all of a
No,
sudden,
I think the Doritos thing was Alex knew about it because we had talked about that for the New York Times. She had set up the New York Times interview as well. But why are they interviewing you?
now that's what I don't understand. Now this is what I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are many movies, parts of movies, that they need elderly people.
Right.
Again, and when I said, you asked me if you wanted to talk to me, man to man,
Yeah.
I said, sure, why not? And then little by little, it became part of we had a little movie or we had something else.
Right.
And little by little, I started to become an actor.
Right.
And I remember years and years ago, I was on Cagney and Lacey. You were arresting me. I was an extra on this and extra, and I liked it. I actually.
And Mom liked it too.
Oh, besides liking it, the food was.
I know the food was good.
Alan, the food was unbelievable.
I know. You don't. I believe me. I know. I
know
used to eat a lot of it.
So
I had a good time.
And life went on.
Right.
And life is still going on.
Absolutely.
And
I think that's it. The whole thing, the other thing, obviously, one of the things that makes you even, I mean, what makes you newsworthy is that you're 99 and a half years old,
right.
and you're still interested in doing this kind of stuff.
No, and I know I'm not supposed to.
Right.
Why? In Cathay House, they are all, I mean, I'm one of the oldest ones there,
Right.
but there are a few hundreds. There are a
Right.
few hundred. And then, but when I take a look at them at my age, I think I'm the most active person. Alan, how it happened, I don't know.
Right.
Active.
But one thing I did, one of the quotes, they misquoted me a little bit in the Daily News, but that's okay, I don't mind. What I was saying is that a lot of times, even on this show, but on Scriptless also, when I say action, you know, you could be tired or whatever, but as soon as I say action, you become alive. It's like, I mean,
You taught me that.
Right.
You taught me the action and cut.
Right.
You get a little notice from them, 10 seconds or whatever it is, and it helps.
Right.
It helps. Why?
No, but all you have to do, you're like one of these toys that you wind up. All I have to do is wind you up, and you just keep on going. You know, you just go, and it's amazing at 99. And I think that's when you make 100, we're going to get you on some network television shows. That's the plan right now. I mean, I want, you know, I want Willard Scott to say, you know, and Max Bendich is 100 today, you know, whatever, you know, all that stuff.
I'm waiting for that.
I'm looking forward to that too.
But I'm waiting for it slowly.
I know. Take it.
Why? As I always tell people, the days become weeks.
Right.
The weeks become months, and the months become years.
Right.
That you can't stop.
Right.
That keeps right on going, and you hope that you're going with it. And look, just talking like this, the actual things that we want to be doing is finding out life, how I lived like this and how I lived like that. And,
Right.
and it's good that we did it because...
Yeah, most of that stuff we've already done. You know, we've gone through your life pretty much with a fine-tooth comb. So now we have an opportunity just to have two guys talking, you know, about life, you know,
and most of the time,
yeah.
parts of those interviews
Right.
come into...
Oh, absolutely.
And
Right.
why? Because it's part of the conversation.
Right.
And
But what do you guys talk about at Cathay House? I mean, when you get together with the guys there, let's say they're all 80s and 90s. I mean, do you have conversations like this? Or?
no.
So what goes on in a place like that?
What time did you get? What time did you get up? Why? You didn't do this yet, or you didn't do this yet, or some of them don't even say a word.
Right.
I'm almost part of it. Believe it or not, you see how I'm talking and talking.
Yeah.
I look at these other. Where I'm sitting, there are 4 people at a table. And good people, and 3 women and a man and me, and they're talking women talk, and there's somebody, and I tell the lady, well, the movie we saw yesterday, we see movies, the lecture, and some of them don't.
But you don't talk about anything.
No,
You don't get deeper than the surface.
never.
How about with your girlfriends?
Well, but
That's different.
All right, look, I don't know. I don't think we talked about that too much. So remember, it was a long time after Mom died,
Right.
and I see this lady all the. You know, I told you I see this lady all the time,
Right.
and we were playing bridge together.
Right.
4 people. We don't play bridge anymore. Nobody plays bridge, and she wasn't such a good player. So she said, "Look, how about telling me what to do about this?" And immediately, one day. I'm walking with her. Alan, what am I doing? Alan, I say this, 68 years,
Right.
married.
Right.
You never go with another woman. You don't know anybody. You know women. I was lucky.
Yeah.
We were in a senior citizens.
I know, you talk about this all the time.
No, wait. No, and there I met
You mean
people.
the club?
And then I met people.
Right.
And we had 4 tables. That's 16 people.
Playing bridge.
playing bridge,
I know.
Alan, and that was every single
And
day.
you loved it. I know you loved. I know you
I
loved.
know.
You've taught it. You loved
And
it.
that's-
You love playing bridge.
We loved, and here I come. Why did we come here?
Mm-hmm.
When David, all of a sudden, you, David, my other son David,
And Mimi.
and Mimi, Miriam,
Yeah.
come over to me. Look how hard you're shoveling snow. Look how hard you're doing this. You're walking. Oh, you have to walk up from the
Garage.
from the ground. You have to walk up 8
All those
steps.
steps, right.
8 steps.
Cement steps.
Look, how about going to one of these?
An assisted living facility. Right?
I would say, never. Well, who has? I drove a car at that time.
Right.
I did everything.
You're always organizing things in the garage. I
In the
remember
garage.
we'd come over
Look,
I come over with the kids and you'd be
I was
doing
active.
stuff.
Oh,
Right.
one other thing I used to do. Co-ops. We lived about a mile. We did not. We lived about a little more than a mile from our house.
That's to
and-
Co-op City.
In Co-op City.
Right.
And I would, in the summertime, I walked back and forth.
Right.
And what did I do? I don't care. We would stop off. I would stop off in a
McDonald's.
not McDonald's.
Burger King.
And Burger King.
Right.
And I would get myself a coffee.
Right.
And then with the coffee, I'd get a refill.
Right.
And I'd walk out, come back in about an hour, sit down,
Have another cup of coffee.
another refill. No, that back and forth.
Right.
And Alan, it was wonderful for me.
Well, obviously, because I think one thing you have to stay active to stay healthy, right?
And then something else, and Mom finally they convinced me to
Well, I was
talk
the
to Mom.
basically, David and Miriam wanted you guys to go, and I was saying no. And then finally I said, okay, you got to go.
Okay, but
Because it was Mommy.
Wait.
Because of Mom.
I said no. I'm the actor. Mom didn't want to go. I lived here all my life. I'm going to die here and things.
Right.
But 10 years later,
I know.
that's when we went in. We came into Kitay House.
Right.
Mom, we were there for a tryout, but Alan, Mom loved it like
I
this.
know.
Unbelievable.
And she loved the meals. She loved
Miriam, Alan. You know, I'll be saying Miriam and David.
That's good.
That part of our lives was fine.
I know. And then and people would come visit you. The grandchildren
That's
would
it.
come.
And by luck, Alan, compared to what you, the 3 of you, my 3 children, my grandchildren, we had 14 people one
know.
time, Alan. 14 with the great-grandchildren and
Right.
everybody else. And when I see other people, that's why you talked about, you know, when you stay in a house, not too many people, family members, not
Right.
too many family members come.
But you know, the interesting, again, we talk a lot now, and we never did talk about it.
Wait, I want to
but, you know,
interrupt you. I don't.
Yeah.
I
know,
told
you always say that. You always say that.
all my life, and for 98
But
years.
the interesting thing that, when you're in family, a lot of things are just left unsaid. You know, you're in a house, you know everybody loves everybody else. Everything is unsaid because you don't, in a way, everything is understood. You know what I mean? So you don't have to talk about it because you're living it, and you don't have to talk about it because talking about it's sort of like crap. You know what I mean? So the reality of it is the thing. You don't have to talk because you're doing
Wait.
it. You know what I mean?
Alan, and I'm a lucky man.
Yes.
Silence is a very important part in a relationship.
Except for us two, because we both like to talk.
No, silence.
Yes.
There's more silence between man and wife and everything.
Right, that's true.
Why? What's there? I mean, we are so used to each other. We are together.
Right.
We'll never separate.
Absolutely.
And it's good and things like that.
Right, but but the silence, the silence. I mean, if you're always silent though, I'll put it this way. Let's say, like right now, Kara, right?
All right.
And Aaron's in college. My
Right.
son Aaron is in
Right.
college, and Kara's a senior in high school. They're going to be gone. Both of them are going to be gone next year. Next year, Aaron's going to be a senior in college, and Kara's going to be a freshman in college. It's just going to be me and Wendy. What do you talk about?
The daily routine.
Right.
No, really, the daily routine. But there comes a time, and Alan, that's what I want to explain to you.
Yeah.
The difference between living together
Right.
and living in Kitay House or any other organization that is like Cathay House.
Right.
I'm lucky. We are in Cathay House. And what do? There are times we are sitting together, and you're reading the paper, I could be looking at television. I may be I actually say that.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Mom is gone.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I'm with a lady, and Alan, I'm not kidding you, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Can you imagine? And that was about 4 or 5 years ago,
Right.
or whenever it was,
Right.
when I met Selma.
Right. It was probably 4 years ago because Mom died 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Right.
But Alan, so what happened? I even came to you. What am I doing? I'm walking with a woman. I don't even know what to talk. Do I stay in front of her? Do I go behind her? And everything else.
Right.
But we continued.
But one thing I know now, though, but you figured it out, right? So, right? I mean, you figured it out now. You know how to do it now, right?
No.
Because you followed your grandson Michael's advice. What did he say?
No, that was later on.
But what was his advice?
And Sadie, wait, the first thing, you're abusing your body.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about just do it. That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
I'm not talking about the walking. I'm talking about when he said just do it.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
I said, Dave, then we're talking. I said,
Okay.
I think I'm supposed to do this. I think I'm supposed to do this. And here are my grandson, big deal, he's a doctor. But Zadie, don't think, do.
That's what he said.
And Alan,
That's right.
a minute later, I did.
You took his advice. It was good advice.
It was good. That was the first advice a long time ago.
Right.
I'm going with this lady, and I was taking a beating from her because she was trying to teach me. I even told her you weren't even born.
I know
then.
she was saying, how could your parents do this to you? Your parents were born in 2 centuries ago.
But still, it was a nice relationship.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. It was different. The whole thing was different.
Right. And it was your first.
And all of a sudden, it was
gone.
over. Right. All right.
What was that like?
Huh?
I know, because you weren't happy about it. You weren't happy.
I was sad, Alan, for quite some time.
Right.
Why? Because my attitude, 2 is better than 1.
That's true.
Alan, 2 is better
because
than
everybody
1.
else is like walking around
and
alone.
When I talk to, again, I don't lecture, but I talk. I actually say that many times. And I even tell them, look, find somebody. And I know one thing, and I even put that in one of our talks before.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what I say. We see each other, yet to go over to the person, and I remember the second one I went with,
Right.
sitting right next to me, our table disappeared. This is a different, she's on a different table.
It's the Berlin Wall.
Alan, yes.
That's it. You can't get over. You can't get through.
Alan, you can't get over. And it's bad. No, for both of them.
And it's that way for everybody. You're right. You know, even I'll put it this way. Even though it's different, but as a director now on Scriptless, you get to tell people, especially in this, because it's all improv, and basically I'm making it up as I go along. Let's say there's going to be a scene where 2 people kiss. To me, it's like even they're feeling a little, to bridge that gap, but they do it because I'm directing them to do it. But still, to take Alan, 2 people and bring them together like that, it's a difficult thing.
I'll even tell you something else.
Yes.
I say, almost every single day, I'm kissing somebody.
I love it.
I'm not kidding. I go over, I kiss them, and
that's good.
Again, they like it. I like it.
Right.
Nothing is happening.
Right.
I walk away immediately. Everything all right with you? Yeah, you're doing this. Okay, good. Take care. We'll see each other later.
Well, you were always one thing, and the other thing I'm really happy about because you're my father. You were always an affectionate person, and that's good because you gave that to your children, and then their children gave it to their children. Not everybody's always affectionate. You know what I mean? Some people are cold. Or not affectionate. So the one gift that you gave to your great-grandchildren, all the way down, is the gift of affection.
Alan, and it was so easy. So Believe me, to me,
Yes.
it's so easy to
I know.
Alan, I don't even use your words because, and that's how affection for me is is easy.
But but I'll put it this way: affection to you, and but to other people is easy. But affection to some other people, it's like the same thing with that wall. They can't get beyond it. If they're stuck, they can't get beyond the wall. They can't. They want it. Everyone wants affection, but for whatever demons or whatever is in their mind, they can't get through that wall to get the affection or give the affection.
How I did it, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It must have grown on me somehow. All things were. I even tell you, man, even before, I think I'm the luckiest one in the world.
Right.
I have luck, and then I also told you I have good luck and bad luck. But I mean, in the end, it was good luck, Alan.
Right.
And I accepted it. I did things. How I did it, I don't know. How I had to do this. Alan, when we were young, I would be in the laundry, and I'd be working in the laundry. You'd be sitting next to me, and I would tell you stories, and we'd come to a fork in the road.
I know.
Alan, that fork in the road.
Those are the best memories. Some of the best memories. I mean, I have tons of good memories, but I'll never forget sitting next to you, listening to your stories. And that was the.
And that fork in the road. That, believe me, even now. But there's always a fork in the road. Alan, always for me, there's a fork in the road. I do it one way, and so far, almost everything.
Right.
Alan,
It worked out.
Worked out.
That's it.
How? I don't know.
Now, you could have a conversation with my son, and he'll talk about predetermination versus choice. Like in other words, you don't even have a choice because you have to. Every time you have to make. You go in a fork in the road. There's really no choice. You know where you know where you're going.
With your son, Aaron.
Yeah.
He has a vocabulary. He has words that I wish I had, and it's good.
Right.
Yeah, and he would just like you say. He would tell me the reason I'm doing something like this.
Right.
And I would just agape. Some word, and I would look at him, and now and again, I saw that, and I realized that's me.
Right.
I can't change.
Right.
I can't change. I don't want to change.
Right. Why change something that's working?
It's Alan. That's it.
And it's working. It's been working for 99 years.
Alan.
It's better than a Timex watch. That keeps on ticking. I mean, it's amazing.
And I accepted things that I wasn't supposed to accept. Why? I even have another kind of besides life is good. Nothing matters.
That's true.
Nothing.
And my father-in-law had a similar Norman
I know
list.
it.
He also said basically everything's crap or whatever. You shouldn't let anything bother you because it's all crap. And the whole thing is it's just.
And at my table,
Yes.
I say it at least once, maybe more, a week.
Yeah.
And they're two arguing for what? All of a sudden, the soup. We get soup. It's cold. or it's dishwater.
Yeah.
And, no, but the meals are good.
Yeah.
And there's an argument, and they look at me. I don't say a word. Alan,
Right.
let them. And finally,
And that's what maybe that's where Kara gets it from, because Kara's that type of person. She, if there's an argument in the house, if Aaron and or Wendy and I are arguing or something, Kara never steps in. She always, all her life, she always just listened and just said, basically, I'm not going to get involved in that. Why get myself aggravated? And she always, and that's a different kind of intelligence, to know it's better not to engage rather than to engage into something that has it never ends.
And Alan, that's one of the things in a place like Kate House.
Right.
It never ends. But that part of it never ends. It's part of the conversation that we have with each other. That never-ending thing.
Right.
I mean, most of the time we talk, I'll even talk to the person over there or the person over here. It's not lasting.
Right.
It's just to be said at that moment, and he'll agree with me or she'll agree or disagree, and then it's something else. And we are lucky about something else. We get news. All right, we have a TV and we have also
Computers.
we have everything like that, and we get newspapers. We get the Times and the Post. We used to get the Times, the Daily News, and the Post, and somehow something happened, but we don't get the daily news anymore.
Right.
So, and I eat and have I wake up early, and I have as soon as they open up the breakfast, I'm there. People are there
Right.
already, and the minute I'm finished breakfast, I go right into the library, get the paper, and I sit down at least for an hour.
Right.
I get the news. Never did that before.
Well, actually, Dad, when we used to live at Nickel Avenue, when you lived in Nickel Avenue,
Yes.
Mommy used to get you used to have Times. You used to get the Times and read it every day.
Oh no, I'm talking since Mom left.
Oh, since Mom
Oh,
left. Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
Remember, Alan, again, if you remember.
Okay, no, okay, that's it.
It's two.
It's two different lives.
Two different lives, so entirely, and
You know what, though? I think you're happier in certain. I mean, you're having a good time now. You know what?
Wait, see what you say? A good time. I think, except one thing.
Yeah.
It's not having a good time. It's a different time.
Right.
We're so used to each other, Dorothy and Mayor, you know. And
family.
The family. And pictures of all of us, Mom and you, the other relatives, all over the place. I'm comfortable with that.
Right.
And
it's good that, that the friends that you have now are okay with the fact that you still have those pictures are still up, whether you have girlfriends or not, so that's it. That's good.
And the kind of me,
Yes.
people are actually, they're finding kind of pictures. I said, how about this picture? You have this, I'm in their apartment or something.
That's nice.
Well,
Put
it
out.
up, put it up.
That's one thing. The other thing one of the things I always like about you being my dad is you always are concerned about, like, Wendy's family. You know what I mean? It's like, never forget Norman. Always remember Rose. What's Rose doing? Always remember Norman. All these things.
See, I forgot. Now, the truth, I forgot that.
Yeah.
But I only forgot on the talk.
Right.
Alan, how important that is.
Right.
Nature, seriously, nature has a way of easing your pain. And how does it do it?
Yeah.
By making you forget.
And Dad, sometimes nature has a way of giving you pain. And you know what that means? There's only one thing left to say, Pop. And it was really a great interview. I had a great time, a great conversation.
Yeah.
But, that's a wrap. Good night, folks.